Yeah, I actually watched several movies here recently. Now I probably do this on a streaming, but we're under movies, so why not? First was on Joe Bob Briggs's Last Drive-In, the Halloween special. The first movie was Demons 2, which is an Italian horror movie by Lamberto Bava. He also did the first movie, which I've never seen. I need to now after having watched the second one. Uh, yeah, this movie, like many other Italian horror movies I've watched, is just pure insanity. Uh, Basically, you have these demons, as the title suggests, although they're more like zombies, I suppose. And the events of the first movie are being like chronicled or discussed or looked into by these people on TV. There's a party going on in this high-rise building that's supposed to be like a Sweet 16 party, if I caught what they said correctly. But everyone there is clearly in like their 20s or 30s and dressed like they're going to a cocktail party and drinking and everything else. So I don't know. It might be a translation problem on that one. Or that's just how they do things in Italy, even though this movie takes place, I think, in Germany. But yeah. So the main woman gets a phone call. She doesn't answer it. Some other guy answers it and is like, "Oh yeah, we're having a party here at her place." And she comes over, is like, "Who was that?" And it's like her ex or something. She's like, "Oh, I can't believe you told him this." And then so she like storms off and goes and hides in her bedroom. Some other woman's like, "I can't believe you did that. Like, you need to go downstairs whenever he gets here. Make sure he doesn't come in." That dude spends the whole rest of the movie out in front of the building for a plot that goes nowhere. He just stands there. The other people spend half the movie driving to there. Some other person's driving there. Right as they get there, they crash into each other. And then, like, an ambulance shows up. And, like, that's it. We never see any of those people ever again. Like, it's total nonsense. It has nothing to do with anything going on the rest of the movie. Meanwhile, everyone up in the high rise is getting killed by the goblin things.
Well,
so,
the thing is like, well, our movie needs to have an extra 15 minutes on it
yeah,
to meet
yeah.
length. Let's put this subplot in here. This is something we're filming for another movie entirely.
Yeah, so the okay, so like the demon thing, like the people like looking into the last movie managed to resurrect one of the demons, and it kills one of them, and then like it notices it's being filmed, and like comes out of the TV at the woman. Okay, first it's trying to get out of the TV, and she's scared and trying to get out of her room, can't unlock the door. Then the TV goes to static, and she starts bitching that the TV's not working. Instantly goes from like, I think this thing's trying to kill me, like, oh, this goddamn TV's not working now. It's like, wait a minute. Like, that's a good thing. The demon's not coming after you anymore. Then she turns around, the demon's in the room. And so, like, it converts her into a demon. Whereas one person put it online, she's probably the only person who got possessed and became a better person because of it. So, she goes out and claws and bites everyone there in the room, which turns them on to demons. Then eventually they break out and start terrorizing everyone in the high rise complex because apparently her blood is acidic, and she intentionally like cuts herself open, and her blood like burns down through all the floors into like the security system and like locks the building down and converts a couple other people along the way. And yeah, don't expect anything to resemble Sense from this movie. Like this 10-year-old kid gets turned into a goblin, turned into a demon thing, attacks this woman, then like falls over dead. Then a goblin claws out of his chest and starts attacking her. That doesn't happen with any of the other demons, just the kid. Yeah, and then the end of the movie, the two people that are like still left alive in the building have to rappel down the building, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, that training I had for rappelling down a building just in case this ever happened. It's like, you're a physics major. What the hell's going on? Because we established that earlier in the movie as he's studying for his physics test.
Maybe he could use physics to figure out how to get
yeah,
down.
Yeah. So, they escape down the building and kill the main demon thing, and I guess all is well. Awesome soundtrack, too, by the way. But, yeah, this is what happens in Italian horror movies. I've seen a few others. Like, don't expect anything like logic or reason to ever enter into the equation. There's some internal logic that we are not privy to, but it's,
Maybe that's just how Italy is.
Could be.
I don't know. I've never been.
So, also, a very young Asia Argento is in this movie. Some of you may recognize that name for someone who's now been completely blacklisted by Hollywood for grooming, among other things. Also, the daughter of Dario Argento, well-known Italian horror movie director. And, yeah. only star you might recognize in this movie. Although apparently, having not watched the first movie, I guess the guy that played a pimp in the first movie is in this movie as like a fitness instructor. Because there's like a gym in this building too, and it gets attacked, and he's like the one leading the defense against the demons at that point.
Actually, reminds me of the one character in. I don't know why, but it made me think of like I think it's the second Resident Evil, the one that's played by Epps. I can't think of his first name. But he was the one that. Oh gosh,
It's not Omar.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's the one that had the two like gilded guns and everything, and he was just I don't know. For some reason, it made me think of. I always thought he kind of played like a pimp character in that.
Yeah, well, I guess the pimp character died in the first movie, and so everyone was like, "Oh, he got resurrected as a gym guy." Okay, yeah. Anyway, that was because as I was watching this, I was also on like the Shudder Reddit as people were like live posting while they were watching the movie. So I guess I really need to watch the first one now.
Thank you for watching. This has been a Geek Ball video, Echoes of a Whisper. This has been a clip from one of our podcasts. The link to the actual podcast this is from is in the description of the video if you want to see the entire thing, which we obviously encourage you to do. But otherwise, if you enjoyed what you saw, a thumbs up is always appreciated. Subscriptions and all the rest is definitely appreciated. Comments, as always. But just in general, thank you for watching. Hope you liked it. And check out the other videos we have here on the channel. See you later.